We played Civilization. This time we're playing an RPG that I really liked in the past. It never really got enough love from people, and who knows, maybe we'll get a remake or a sequel or something one day. This game's called Arcanum, and it's all about like science and magic and like this changing world. It's sort of set in like an industrial revolution where the world is kind of going from science to technology, and magic's sort of like this dying art. And without giving too many spoilers away, the game's going to start, and we are going to be creating a character. I am using a couple of mods for this game, although I've not played with them before, so it's going to be... I'm going to have to see what happens with them. The big thing is this game really does not like newer hardware, given that it came out in, I think, 1999 or 2000. Maybe it was 2001. Anyways, yeah, I think it was 2001. However, the issue is it doesn't like higher resolutions. It has these issues with screen tearing and getting to infinite loops when you have too many things on screen. So I'm basically just going to... I'm trying a couple of configuration things. One of them, most notably, is, although it is technically supposed to be playing in a window right now, it is not. So I'm having to full screen and do a display capture, which means that when I tab out to fix something in OBS like I'm doing right this second, it has to click over to my desktop for a moment, which is less than ideal, but I guess it is what it is. So I'm also trying to set a couple of things up here with like the Twitch stream side of things so I can look at it and chat and stuff on another computer off to the side, but I don't know how that's going to work out. So I guess we'll have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. Anyways, on to the game. One of the mods I installed, it's like this universal patch. It adds a whole bunch of extra races that aren't normally in the game, where you can do like full-blooded orcs and ogres and dark elves. Yeah, those are the three that it adds. But I'm not really leaning to play one of those. I'm thinking of playing some sort of technologist. And male and female in this game do make a small difference in terms of stats. Women actually get the best stats overall because Constitution's pretty weak, and they gain Dexterity, which is really strong. But they also miss out on a couple of quests, and a couple of things play out different. So I may or may not play them. It really depends on the race that I play, because not all races have both genders available. So, yeah, they don't have male and female together, available. Some races are more technologically inclined, some are more magic inclined. Humans are kind of like the generic neutral at everything. Dwarves are like tech. Elves are magic, and then, you know, you have like a couple of mixtures in between. And orcs are actually a little more technology-based as well. Sorry, my cat is losing his mind. So, the thing is, orcs kind of have difficulty, like, social situations, because there's a lot of more serious undertones in this game with things like prejudice, racism, sexism, prejudice, all these things, especially based on what race people are born into. Like, gnomes have a particular archetype in this game, which I'm hoping to not discuss much because it's a little controversial. And then halflings have theirs, half-orcs have theirs. Half-ogres are pretty cool as well. Probably going to stay away from playing one of them for the same reason I'm not going to play a gnome, although we might pick up either gnomes or half-ogres as followers. I could do a dwarf. Dwarves are cool in that they have some really strong early technology bonuses, but they also have a huge penalty to using any sort of magic. And there may be one or two magic spells I want to use in the game, which would actually be impacted pretty harshly by that magic penalty, so I might not use them. Humans are, you know, boring humans, but I could just play one of them too. Or maybe I could try like a like half-elf technologist. I'm not sure how that would play out, but I'm willing to look at like the penalties and bonuses and stuff here and see what would happen. 1 dex and 1 beauty are pretty cool. The 5% magic aptitude could actually help a lot in the early game, but let's see, the constitution doesn't matter. The 1 rank to all tech skills does matter. Although, there is a, oh, yeah, going through these, God mode is one of the backgrounds you can pick on a character. I won't be doing it. The mod just kind of includes it as a way to have a whole bunch of, basically a whole bunch of stats, a whole bunch of money and stuff when you start the game. There's something where you lose your elvish heritage. I don't remember where it is in here. Or maybe it's not available to half-elves. It's one I've never played. Yeah, it looks like it must be a full elf woman thing. Maybe I won't play one of them. I've never played a halfling. I don't think they're allowed to wear shoes, which is kind of weird. It would mean I have like a little bit of an armor penalty throughout the game, but that might not be too bad because they get like a bonus, I think, on getting missed. Let's read through these. 2 dex is nice to start with. This dex is really powerful. 2 ranks of prowling is kind of cool because it helps you sneak. And when I do say rank on these, a level up is worth 4 ranks of a skill if you invest in it, so it's essentially half a level worth of prowling. And then you can usually get like some gear that'll add like another 2, so you get like 1. So let's see, rank of dodge is okay, crit chance. The loss to strength kind of hurts because you do have like a carrying capacity. Let's see, no shoes. The nice thing about no shoes, though, is it means you're very quiet, which also helps with sneaking. And then no real preferences to either magic or technology. So, yeah, I might play as a halfling. I do have to play as a male halfling. That looks kind of cool. A half-orc, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't like the lack of beauty or charisma. Something neat with halflings too is I'd have to wear all small armor. There are a couple of extremely powerful small armors in the game, so it'd be nice that I could actually use it. Although there's one I'm thinking of specifically. I think it's like a I don't know if it's dwarf only or if halflings can also wear it. This guy kind of like makes me think of Bilbo Baggins, so I'm thinking of using him, but I honestly don't really want to. I might put this guy instead. It's a cool portrait, I think. It's beaten with an ugly stick. This kind of screams Frodo Baggins too. Or Samwise. I'm just going to use Braille as the character name, although an actual Hobbicus would be nice, as Bolin would say. Yeah, there is male only for them, unfortunately. There might be a mod that opens up females with character portraits, but I don't actually know. Um, for the background, um, some of these backgrounds are a lot stronger than others. One of them in here is like this perception is kind of nice. One of the things I'm looking for is I kind of want this guy to fight using guns. Almost every time I've ever played this game, I've always defaulted to some sort of melee. Either like a magic guy who uses buffs on himself to become some sort of melee god. It's really strong late in the game, maybe one of the strongest builds. Or I play like some sort of technologist who's using swords and axes and stuff. And I never really play the ones that need ammo, like either arrows or bullets or whatever. And one of the reasons that I'm more willing to play that this time is one of the mods I added lets me actually control my party members' level ups. So I'm going to have a lot more control to use advanced technological skills, because normally only your main character can level some of the later ones up, and to get some of the gear you need to be like really high level in multiple technological disciplines. So this way I'll actually be able to spread some things out a little bit. And as a result, I kind of wanted to do more of like a explosives and like gun type guy, and then use like my party members to craft like chemistry and healing and like physical buffs. So going through that, I think what we're going to do, we don't need the poison resist, don't want to take beauty. One thing notable that I am going to, well, I haven't actually decided yet. There is a way very early on to kind of break the game outright. There's one magic skill called Agility of Fire, which you can cast on yourself twice at once, even in the early game. And each time you cast it, you get +4 dexterity. And the way this game works is if you have 20 dexterity, or actually 20 of any stat, you get an extra bonus. And dexterity is kind of like the most important one because it gives you action points and speed. So being able to buff your dexterity up by so much early in the game is just extremely powerful, and I haven't decided if I want to use it or not. That's the one spell I was talking about that I might grab. It would give me a huge bonus early, but later on I really don't want to be casting it, even though I could. Mostly just because I don't like the idea of having to buff before I go into fights. So I might skip it. If I do skip it, it's going to mean I'm going to have a very hard time trying to get a late game item very early, because I kind of want to do some sequence breaks so we can do parts of the game out of order. And you kind of need that buff if you want to do it. Or at least if you want to do it without extreme difficulty. There is a, one of these backgrounds gives -6 to Constitution, I believe. And that's kind of the one I'm looking for here. These ones that are like, you trade off, you get 1 in a stat and -1 to another stat are usually not very good because of like the other penalties, and stats are pretty fungible. Okay, yeah, this one could be pretty good. Sheltered Childhood. I would take a huge hit to Strength, so large that I don't think I could ever hit 20. And as you can see, it would like drop my carry weight to nothing. So, hold on, sorry, I had to check a text. Yeah, so this one could be okay, but I don't think I want to take it. Actually, no, I lose 6 and I gain 5. So that one's actually not very good. Control Offspring. This one's actually pretty funny because you can use it combined with like a really ugly character, and just becomes so hideous that everything tries to kill you on sight. This guy, looking at the portraits again, this guy's cool. This guy looks a little more evil now that I look at it. I'm going to play more on the good side of things, although I am going to feel a lot of stuff, especially early on. Is this one sickly? I think sickly is the really strong one. Losing 2 strength hurts, but isn't bad. And you lose 1 dex. However, that high intelligence is really good. So if you discount the constitution as being like an actual stat, because it's really not, you're essentially losing 3 points to gain 6. So you gain 3, which is like 3 levels worth of points. I'm just gonna look through the rest though to be sure. This educator background in the vanilla game is pretty strong since it lets you, your followers, it's the only way that they can get certain bonuses on their skills. However, one of the mods that people almost always play with lets followers have that automatically, so this background just kind of falls by the wayside. Let's see. Let's try. Oops. The 10% experience bonus can add up because we have a level cap remover as part of the mods we're using. If you didn't have that, it's an awful ability. But with it, it can actually work out all right. Looks like my laptop is going to sleep mode, so that might make it a little difficult for me to actually monitor the stream. I have access to like monitor stuff. I guess it's okay. There's a couple things here though, so that they're on like I have 2 windows up. I'm setting each to half the screen instead. See some more stuff. Okay. Sorry about that. Still trying to figure out like good setups, especially in a game like this where I have to do the monitor display capture. These day, night, sky, nature mage things. Not really wanting to use any of them. Magic allergy is okay, especially if I choose to not use that buff. Actually, I guess tech aptitude is not that great. Arsonist is sort of funny. Basically, yeah, you like fire. No, you love fire. Fire, fire, fire. You were always picked on as a kid for being scrawny, but you showed them. You studied explosives and you burned their homes. Burned them to the ground. Ha ha ha. Then you ran away from home and snuck aboard the IFS Zephyr, which seemed highly flammable and an excellent target. You probably would have torched the Zeppelin if it hadn't been shot down. Notably, it shot down with us on it in the start of the game. So yeah, that's kind of describes the character that we're going to be playing here, guns and explosives and setting fire. But we are not going to be using that background. Mad Doctor's another fun one. So you gain 2 int, 2 perception, resist don't matter. So essentially you gain 4 and you lose 4 between beauty, charisma, and dex. So I guess it evens out. And you gain a little bit of the healing skills and resistances for free. Let's see, Miracle Operation, you lose 5 Constitution, and then you're trading 6 Actually, you gain 5 perception. Wow. And int charisma. So you gain 11 points and lose 6, meaning it's essentially a +5. This could be a good one. I might be willing to play it. We're going to do either Miracle Operation or whatever the other one was we said. Just here. Yeah, Miracle Operation or Sickly. Out of the two, Perception is a really huge boost for guns. And one of the big balance problems with this game is that firearms, although they are perfectly fine as a combat type, do tend to start out extremely weak. Like, you need some of the stronger guns later in the game. You also need the stats to use them. So that Perception can be pretty good because I believe Firearms uses Perception. But we will double check that in a moment. And also Intelligence gives you better dialogue options. Yeah, 2 strength, 1 dex. Not the worst thing in the world to lose. I'm gonna do Miracle Operation. I don't remember entirely how good this is to start. I think that 3 strength hit's gonna hurt. We'll have to double check. I believe the mod I'm using removes carry weight restrictions, which on the one hand is a balanced thing, but on the other hand, especially in a game like this, like, you have one main character you're controlling. So, like, it's one character that's looting and picking everything up, and one of the reasons I've always played melee is they tend to have really high strength, and you kind of do that almost as a quality of life thing just to pick up loot. So if the mod is on that lets me circumvent the carry weight thing, this is also just going to be a lot more pleasant to play. But from here, like, we have good ints, so that's good for technological stuff. Perception for our firearms. Dexterity is going to be kind of weak at 7. Actually, not just kind of, it is going to be very weak. You see my character here says age 50. The game kind of defaults every single race to what is their race's equivalent of 20 years old. Humans are age 20, elves are age 200, dwarves are age 100, I think, or maybe they're also 50, like halflings. So essentially what this is telling you here is that halflings live to an age of around like 250 or 300 in their world. And this is actually a plot point later on where humans having such short lifespans has led to them making decisions a lot of other races don't approve of. So here you can see, like, these are the magic abilities we can add at the start. This Agility of Fire right here is the one that is just absolutely broken. Yeah, I really don't think I want to use it. I think I'd much rather go Technological Disciplines here. And if we go Technology, there's actually not, like, a whole lot that we're going to be able to make early game with any of these abilities. Like, the guns here, we're not going to craft a gun even, we're going to steal one. And otherwise obtain them. So, like, I don't need gunsmithy right now. In fact, you can actually be a gun user without any smithy, because you can actually make every single gun here, or find every gun there. But it's more like a roleplay thing. The explosives can be good, but we're not really going to have the throwing skill to use them accurately. But explosives are a very good source of money. we're not really going to have much money for therapeutics early on, which are essentially buff items. Herbology could be okay to make some early healing items. I don't know if we want to use that either. Electric, we're going to want these charged rings, but we can't make them, I think, until the second town. Once we do make them, though, we're going to be putting them on every single character. In fact, a lot of the stuff here in electric and a lot of the stuff in mechanical are items that we are just going to be using the entire game. Like the eye gear, the autoskeleton key, the chapeau magnetic inversion. Like, a lot of these things are just going to be using. And then chemistry, kind of, a couple of things it does is it gives us the ability to make the item, like the various ammunition for our items. Like charges are very good for some of these electric things, like a Tesla rock, or a Tesla gun, actually, later on, which is not strong, but it is fun to use. As a gunsmithy, one of the things that we're really going to want to be able to do, though, is make bullets. And it looks like we actually have to find the recipe for that in the world. But I do think it comes from chemistry. So what I'm going to take here is, it's hard to say, like, going up all of these is pretty good. I don't want to, maybe I don't take any technological disciplines right at the start. Maybe I just focus on stats, or better yet, on combat skills. So you see here we start with essentially that 1 point of dodge, which is not that helpful. We could add a little bit more, which would be a little helpful. Backstab is really nice if you build a character for it, but we're not going to. Throwing is a nice support ability if we made grenades, but like I said, I don't know if I want to make a bunch of throwing items because it means late game trying to salvage a whole bunch of materials to make them. Persuasion is cool because actually I think every major story point in the game on the main quest, and then most of these side quests actually have non-combat alternatives to winning. So you can actually play I guess there is a little bit of forced combat even with the persuasion options, but you can actually play essentially a character that is completely non-combat oriented. Something to read. Have to respond to what I thought was. You ever run into this issue with Twitch where you can't see chat windows? It's making me have to full screen and I can't window it to see them. Oh wait, there we go. Oh, never mind. It only does it on. Yeah, it only does it to me on one computer too. Whatever. Really, I only need the that thing on. Sorry, I'm still trying to just figure out what entirely I'm doing here for setup. There we go. Guys, where were we? Alright, so, yeah, what we're going to be doing here, we are going to be taking firearms. We have a lot of perception, so getting this is nice. We are going to be wasting a few character points taking more levels of firearms later in the game, because there's a buff that actually gives us the last 3 ranks for free. But I don't really want to play an underpowered character for like the first 80% of the game just to have more power later on. So I'm going to do this. Disarm traps and pick locks I'm not really sure of doing yet. Pick locks is actually a very helpful skill. These things fall under thievery. They do move us more towards that as well. If we were going to take any technological disciplines here, it would be to get this auto skeleton key. I believe we can make it early, and it's our best way of picking locks as a non-magic character. I would have to use 3 points to get it. I guess what I could do, I'll remove a point of firearms and maybe focus more on just trying to be a thief early on. Trap Springer, I don't remember what it does, if it's even any good. But the Spike Trap, I think might actually be okay early in the game. It could, if nothing else, it's a source of money. So I might do it like this. I'm also kind of tempted to take the Pure Ore. There's a chance we can make it early on. It kind of, it depends, because the game is a little random with loot. The electrolyte solution's good too, I guess, if I use charges, but we won't have it yet. So I think I do this. 1 in firearms is going to be enough. I'm not going to be doing much fighting. And then maybe the last point goes into pick locks. We might have to save scum a little bit with just 1 in pick locks. Or, you know what? Yeah, because I think you need expert in pick locks in order to not jam things. So until that point, we might do a little save scumming. Because we're ready to do. Alternatively, we would take the 1 point. Instead of firearms, we could play healer for our party members early on. Take the point in healing salve. That could also be okay. Like this, and just have no combat ability. Yeah, well, let's do it. This is a very interesting starting vendor. I think that's because of the mod. I've never seen some of these items available this early in the game. You can see they cost. Like this thing is one of the strongest two-handed magic swords in the game. There's the Tesla rod, which I mentioned earlier, which is also kind of pricey. This is actually really cool, though, that this stuff is available. It kind of gives more value to those backgrounds that give you a lot of starting money. Like, this charged axe here is absurd, right? Really game. Yeah, I mean, these are actually really cool. Like, here's one of those auto skeleton keys I was just talking about. We just put points into. In fact, knowing that that's there and that I would be interested in just buying it right now, I might remove those. can just buy the skeleton key. Electro armor here. I don't even remember even seeing. Oh wait, no, I remember electro armor. Yeah, this is a really cool assortment of early weapons. Very cool, actually. Like, I mean, you get a Tesla gun. The machine plate mail is also really good. Elite plate is nice. I mean, I'm not gonna have money for any of this stuff, but I'm just kind of, you know, looking through. And it's very cool seeing some of these things in here. I guess it doesn't mean much if you've never played the game, but some of these things are very hard to come by. Like this large armor here. It's pretty hard to find large armors, which is kind of one of the weaknesses of playing like ogres and stuff. Is although you have superior stats, you can't really find armor to use them. Like this one's a really good technological armor for them. These charged rings are really powerful, but we'll be making our own soon. Acid gun sounds cool. I guess that's what I would use. I don't know what it uses for charges. A Bronwick's gun is a very late game item that is used as a component for something, and it's one of the items that we're going to actually hunt down to do the skips that I would kind of like to do. Grenade launcher, I don't remember ever using. That sounds fun too. Accelerator guns. Regenerative jackets are I guess not a super late game item because we can, we'll be able to make them, but yeah. We'll actually probably make a few of them when they use charges. This Drox Warbringer, again, absurd weapon. I think that's the gun I'm going to try and tier skip to get as well. After just seeing one here is really insane to me. I had no idea that the mod I was using made all of this stuff available. Featherweight chain, I mean, I could buy this, and I'm not going to get anything as good as it for a very, very long time, so I might buy it and have some armor. Alternatively, I go for the medium featherweight chain that we saw up here, I think. Yeah, and I could put this on my on the guy I was going to have as essentially my minion for them. I'm probably going to buy one of those featherweight chains, unless I see something else. Like this clockwork physician, I believe it's a little clockwork guy that runs around and heals you. Which would probably change like the entire course of this game. But you can keep it charged. I think that would actually change things so much that I don't want to buy it. It's more a matter of would I like to have armor or would I like my minion to have armor right now. And I know those options. So 753 for this small oiled thieves lever can be pretty nice as well. It's quiet, it adds prowl, pickpocket, spot trap. But I believe I can find those on vendors normally. Although I think I also saw that like vendors have this stuff more often too. You know, this is just like so different from what I'm used to that I'm gonna buy this featherweight chain from the guy. And now we get the cutscene. Some stuff in this game is voice acted, some isn't. I think I'll read out the stuff that isn't. The stuff that is, I'll just let play. Especially if I ever have to alt-tab.
Help me, please. Oh, thank you, my friend. I haven't got much time. You must find the boy. Find the boy and give him back his ring. Now, he will know what needs to be done. Now, listen to me. We had to do it. He did unspeakable things to us, and we had no choice but to do as he said. And there are so few of us left, but the work is almost finished. And then the evil, you can't imagine. He's coming back to destroy everything and everyone. Now, please, just find the boy. Tell him that I escaped. I came back to warn. He will know what to do. You, my friend, it's all up to you.
It's all up to us, and he, you'd think he would have been a little bit more descriptive. Was that important?
I can't believe it. I mean, you and then the Zeppelin and the fire. And the altar says that... Do you have any idea what all of this means?
So the game is a little bit smaller than normal. Things are usually zoomed in a little bit more. This was a very old game, so it defaulted to, I think, 1024 by 768 resolution. We're using a high-res patch here to increase a lot of it, but as you can see, the side effect is the UI elements are going to be a lot smaller. And I don't know if the text is large enough on people's Twitch streams, so I will read those out. Options here. What are you going on about? Or by the gods, man, I almost died here. Didn't you see the crash? It's more, do we want to be self-absorbed or do we want to be a jerk? To this guy. No, let's just... Let's ask him. What's he talking about?
You speak! I mean, of course you speak. What am I, a blathering idiot? Wait, what did you say? Maybe I should be writing all of this down.
Alright, so now we ask him, what the bloody hell are you talking about? Out with it, man, or I'd like to help you out here, but I'm a bit confused. And I like the bloody hell are you talking about?
I am at a loss here. I don't quite know what to do. I mean, you are the... Oh, of course you are. I mean, you do know who you are, right? Of course you do. What sort of brainless, half-baked question is that for what do you call yourself?
Okay, so now we can either be a real jerk, am I being unclear, and then very loudly, so loud it's in capital letters, your babbling is incomprehensible, or please, sir, slow down and tell me what it is that you're saying. And you know, we're gonna play into whatever delusions this guy has. Like, he seems a little sus right now. Some guy coming up and seeming like we're, I don't know.
Please forgive me. I'm making a bloody mess of this whole affair. My name is Virgil, sir, and I'm new to the Panari religion. Your religion, and I... Oh, wait! I hereby dedicate... commit my life to the living one. I, Virgil, am at your service, sir.
So what we hear here is we have now had a little religious minion pop up who believes that we are an important figure to him, and he wants to serve us for the rest of his life. Given that we were about to die in a huge blimp crash and he came up, this is, just a little much. So our options are, what do you mean the living one? Quit speaking in riddles. Virgil, please, you really need to explain things here. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just not who you think I am. Or, yes, right, you may rise and serve me loyal. And out of these, I think we're going to be a little bit more good and just deny the fact that we are the living form of his.
Yes, of course you're not really him, just his reincarnation. I mean...
Oh, okay,
case,
so we're not
right?
him. We are just a reincarnation.
I'm no expert in elven philosophy or prophecy. Bloody confusing, you know. All those these, thous... not that it's not interesting.
So, alright. He doesn't really know what he's talking about, it seems like.
Yes, right. Just give me a moment here. You see... The Panari, that's the religion that was formed around the things that he said. I mean, that you said. Oh, forget it. Let's start at the beginning. Or this beginning, since there is a lot more that came before this. You are the reincarnation of a powerful elf, who the Panari worship, and whose name is,
Okay, so what this is sounding like is this powerful elf mage has reincarnated himself as a halfling, a gun-toting halfling scientist. And also, we just happen to reincarnate nowhere near where we should have. So, this is going well. I'm seeing some parallels this game is making with other parts of real life.
Right. Yes, the name. Wait. I remember something. It is written in the scriptures. The living one will live again on wings of fire. No, wait. I think it says, reborn on wings of fire. Oh, blood and ashes. Why do elves always have to be so damn cryptic?
Alright. On wings of fire, we had a balloon of fire. I don't think we had any wings. Still doesn't look like we have any wings. I don't think this is like a My Hero Academia situation where we had wings and we got burned off. So, yeah. Do the scriptures speak of a dying gnome and a ring?
I don't know about the ring, but this business about the evil one returning. As I've said, I don't know a whole lot about the Panari prophecies, but I think you were supposed to return and fight someone evil. Bloody hell, I should know more of this.
Okay, so now we have Virgil here. He doesn't know about the ring, and he doesn't know a whole lot about his supposed prophecies he's following. So, I mean, at least he's honest. But he is convinced that we are the one who's supposed to fulfill all of these things that he knows nothing about. You don't seem well versed in the scriptures, so I'm meant to be some great religious figure. That's ludicrous. I make it a rule not to speak with religious fanatics. Good day, sir. Or, if this is confusing to you, imagine how I must feel. We're going to take the non-confrontational option and just be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
I would like to clear up your confusion, but I am new to the Panari religion myself. I must bring you to meet my mentor, Elder Joachim. He can answer your questions. He is in Shrouded Hills, a town at the base of these mountains.
Okay, so he's just going to take us to his mentor, who will actually explain things properly, it sounds like. Because, you know, this guy doesn't know anything. He just came across whatever, and he's like, oh. Yeah, I'm already in over my head seeing a survivor of a blimp crash. And rather than, you know, look for medical attention or whatever, we're just going to drag him to my religious inquisition. So, yeah, thank you, Virgil. You are being very, very helpful. But for the sake of the backstory, let's ask first. Who is this Joachim fellow?
Joachim, well, gave me a hand when I needed it. Showed me the truth of the Panari and its beliefs. He's a very wise man, and will know what needs to be done.
Alright, well, it sounds like Joachim is very wise and somehow knows things. Given that Virgil here kind of looks like he's dressed like a Jedi, I assume that means like he's the apprentice and Joachim is the master. But we are going to, you know, go to Joachim and straighten
The path out of here
everything
leading
out.
down to Shrouded Hills is down to the southeast. We'll stop by the Panari Shrine on the way out. See if it makes any of this any more clear. We should look for any other survivors.
Look for any
before
other
we leave,
survivors? What do I
What do you
think?
think?
Agreed or no? I couldn't care less about these unlucky buggers. Let's go. Well, no, we're gonna look. We don't want to be jerks. Also, we are going to save the game right here. And then, if I don't remember what the quick save and load buttons are, I'm just going to hit my keyboard until it works.
It is done.
No. F9 did the quick load. And so F8 didn't do anything. F10 just hides the UI. There are controls for this. There are, but they don't tell me. That's always nice.
It is done.
F1, walk, attack,
It is done.
stay
It is
close,
done.
spread out,
It is done.
back off,
It is done. It is done.
move. F7 was save, and F9 is load. The save and load are a little slow with this mod. Normally, like, something this old should be able to load instantly, but there are a couple issues. And with this, I do need to tab out and adjust the volume in one of my other windows real quick. Okay. Sorry that overlay is really messed up when I tab out. It's because the monitor doesn't match the display capture resolution, and I don't have the things hotkeyed. So, yeah. Anyways, we're now going to go through here and essentially do a little bit of looting of all these corpses. Oh, and also, before we forget, inventory for that. We're going to talk to Virgil
What
here
is
real
it that you want
fast.
of me?
and trade some things. I'm going to steal the poor guy's robe and his wine. And I'm going to give him this featherweight chain that we bought. I didn't escape on these on accident. So, you know, he now has some chainmail. He'll be a little bit better off. And something else we're going to do here that's very important, we definitely don't want to forget about this on any of our minions for the rest of the game, is when we first get them, is we're going to turn on these auto level schemes. This determines how they level up. You can pick these, and they will basically use them to level up to get all their various skills. But what we are really wanting here for the level up is no scheme. That way we can manually place all of their points where we want them to go, I believe. I've never used that mod before, so it might not work that way, but it's how I believe it works. Carrying capacity, the mod does give us essentially unlimited. I want to see if the minions have the same thing. They do not. So we can carry things, but they can't. The game also, there's a twofold method of carrying things here. The grid is our max carrying size. So you have like a size of items as well as a weight. And there's one other thing we want to do here in the options before the game goes on too long. We're going to put it on hard because why not? And we want to make sure that our combat mode is on turn-based. We might turn it to fast turn-based later on, but for now we're just going to stick on turn-based. Follower skills, I don't remember what this does, so we're going to leave it at that. But yeah, we want difficulty on, and we want things on turn-based. And we unfortunately don't have any healing items. So this might be a... Yeah, we are going to be saving a lot here. Mostly because I want to be very careful about getting into fights that we can't handle. I'm just going to stay here. I want Virgil to...
It is done.
Attack this. And I kind of want to actually run from enemies because Virgil's the one who needs to be tanking. With his armor that we got him, he will be able to do things without issue. Let's see, he was able to do that, taking almost no damage. But also, let's double check if Virgil has any healing items. His archetype is kind of a healer, so he might. You get used to the hotkeys as well. Didn't escape a lot to get out of these. Oh, this button, I think, lets me pass my turn. Something we are going to want to make sure we can do before we get out of here is hit level 2. The way followers work in this game for XP is whenever we level up, if they are in our party, they level up. So normally what this means is your followers are always going to be a lot weaker than you. Again, one of the mods makes a book that is sold very infrequently that levels all of the followers up to our level. So what we'll probably end up doing is, once we get the party together that we want to be using, we'll use one of those books once we find one to catch everyone up. But until then, I'd still like to try and minimize the gap, especially for the first guy we're going to get, who I think needs to hit level 3. Save this and Sorry, I need to do more things. Stream because no sound was coming through for it. Alright. This sound wasn't supposed to be coming through. Okay. Let's try again. Hopefully I didn't increase the volume by too much. This is one of those things like, you know, a stream starting screen and I wasn't getting any music on it. I wasn't sure if that was an intentional thing on the streamer's part this time or not, because usually there is music. Here, I'm just going to continue running for these guys. I don't want to take damage. Why did my guy run? Okay. Oh, really? Really, Virgil? You even damaged the armor? Armor can unfortunately get damaged in this game, and when it gets damaged, it has to be repaired. And the max durability goes down every time it's repaired. So, that was kind of a dumb by getting himself knocked down like that. Not knocked down, but slipping and falling, I should say. We did manage to pick up a couple of healing items, although Virgil's still doing pretty good without it. He does have some healing magic that he starts with, and he's using that on himself. We got this note here that we're going to read. Wilhelma to Jared. My dearest Jared, I am aboard the IFS Zephyr, speeding on my way to see you again. My breath catches when I think that in 2 short weeks I shall be your wife. That is correct, my dear. I am accepting your proposal. I hope thoughts of me warm your heart, your long days and nights guarding Vermilion Station. From the half-orc looters you mentioned. Love always, Wilhelma. I'm sure that's never going to be relevant. Right? And these items we're picking up here, like these roots and this wine, these are crafting components for technology, because technology is all... Well, access to a lot of technology is crafting based. What I'm doing here, there's actually a cave that I would like to go up to. Although I guess we won't finish the quest right away. We should probably at least... I guess I don't have to loot the corpses either, but I would like to do this cave. Because there's some useful stuff with it. So Virgil is healing himself. That armor is absolutely nuts. It's like a mid to late game armor, depending on the character. And we have it basically at the start, which is really cool because he's just not going to need anything for most of the rest of the game. It's one of the better technology armors. We can see Virgil is lacking a little bit in the damage dealing department. That's okay. As long as the enemies can't kill him, there's really nothing to worry about.
What is this? And isn't that an ogre among the wreckage? It seems very unlikely that an ogre would have the intelligence to fly such a complex device.
The ogres didn't have the intelligence to fly a plane? Yeah, no kidding. They didn't really. They destroyed themselves in
Do
the
you see
attack.
that strange amulet that he's wearing? And that symbol on its face? I don't recognize
And that symbol on the
Do you?
amulet. No, I don't recognize it.
Something isn't quite right about all of this. I don't remember the, scriptures talking about flying ogres and the like. We'd better get to Shrouded Hills and find Elder Joachim as soon as possible.
Let's get
And
to
be careful.
Elder Joachim.
These wolves are none too friendly.
No armor on this guy, but he does have this mysterious amulet, which we're going to equip just because we can. You know, proof of grave robbing. Sorry, I need to just actually working. Yeah, so the audio on my other thing wasn't working. Streamer that I was watching. I think it is now. Hopefully that's the last time I have to mess with one of these for the next few hours. We're gonna be running from this guy. Back, Virgil. I'm probably gonna find myself chatting in streams a lot less today than I normally do. It's, I can't tab with a display capture. Okay, we're gonna kill this wolf as well. And this cave is what we're gonna want to go into. What ends up happening is in this cave there's a quest. It's not the only spot where you can start it. There's actually multiple spots you can start it, but this is the easiest one. I think there's some items we can get in here too that are pretty cool. And we might have to help Virgil out in this fight. Actually, I guess we can't because we don't have a weapon and we'll actually take damage if we punch things right now. We could put this, actually no, that's a full-size robe. So yeah, we don't even really have armor. So Virgil's just gonna be on his own here. Hopefully he ends up okay. We can craft these healing salves with our turn. In fact, I'm going to do that, just so we have a couple of extra heal items. Oh my god, that made a lot of heal items. I forgot it made so many. Wow. Okay, well, we're gonna use these to heal Virgil if he starts taking a lot of damage. Otherwise, we're just gonna let him do the fighting. I thought those things made like 5. It must be because of the mods that we're using. It must increase like the number that we craft to make tech stuff a little more balanced and have like a little less farming with it. So one thing you might notice here, or maybe not, it might be a little hard to tell, is this blue bar in here or under Virgil is a stamina bar. And in this game, stamina and magic use the same resource pool. And that pool is also used for swinging the weapon. So when Virgil swings his weapon, he's effectively losing mana, or when he has to heal himself, he's losing the stamina to swing at things. If it goes empty, you become unconscious, and if you're unconscious, you probably die. So something I am going to need to do here to manage Virgil's stamina usage is actually maybe heal him a little proactively so that he doesn't continue casting heals on himself. Given that he did use 20 out of his 30 stamina to kill one rat, and that included a heal, which I think he used 5. Yeah, Virgil attack that. And we're going to be watching, and I think heal him when he hits down to like, I don't know, 35. But not 35, like 25 health maybe. We have a lot of heal items here, so we can't afford to use a few of them. There's also a healing skill. I can actually bring it up here, I think. We didn't put anything into it. We might put stuff into it later, or we might just let another character do it, which lets us use bandages to heal, which are kind of like using these healing salves, except the amount is based on a skill, and each bandage only uses a 1x1 square with 10 charges on it. So you can make your healing a lot more compact using less inventory space. And that tends to be a pretty decent skill if you can get enough bandages. I don't remember if bandages can actually be crafted though. I'm gonna try and up the volume just with this. I'm just a little quiet. We're gonna give Virgil a heal here. Just have to be really careful that I'm not actually attacked. I guess that is another downside of doing the display capture is my volume controls for my keyboard also show up on it. Really wish I could have gotten the window working. I think it also would have been like a slightly better view. Okay. All the rats are dead. We get some arrows and a couple of tech items. Saltpeter. And we are going to be saving here. This barrel we can loot. Gun parts, more tech stuff. These are all good things. The railroad spikes are... we can use them for certain tech things as well, or we can actually also use them as a makeshift weapon right now. I am going to use one as a weapon. It's not very good, especially when I don't have the strength to even use it effectively, but I just don't want to be taking damage if I do have to punch something. This rat is unfortunately chasing me. Okay, now it's hitting Virgil. And that's what we always want. That rat died pretty quickly. Another one I noticed died pretty quickly earlier as well, so I think that Virgil may be getting some critical hits here and there. A few more items. You can kind of see that we are out of inventory space. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass a few of these items over. Crafting stuff we're not using, quest items, this robe that Virgil won't be equipping. We're going to pass those things over to him. We want to keep his encumbrance low, but we also just want to make sure we have room to carry things. Here, an old flintlock pistol, so we're just going to get ourselves a free gun. A free, really bad gun, that is. The dynamite is nice, and the grenades are also nice. We are going to have to be a little bit careful about when we use those grenades, since we can't make too many of them right now. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the gun in, which we also lack strength. We did get a few bullets, 15 of them, so we can't shoot too much, but we will be able to shoot a few times. And then we're going to put our stun grenades in here. And we also got an explosive grenade. I'm also going to place the dynamite. The dynamite, we're probably not going to... Well, we're going to use the dynamite in another spot later on. I actually already know where. Because it's just going to be a convenience thing. The steel and iron ore, I had mentioned one of these crafting recipes with Smithy, I believe, for pure ore. We can turn that iron ore and steel into pure ore, which opens up a couple of quests. It also opens up like these balanced swords and featherweight axes. The balanced sword would be a fantastic weapon for Virgil, but we would need the hilt and guard. If we find one of those, we'll probably just craft him the weapon. If we don't, I don't know, we might make the pure ore just to finish a quest quicker, or we'll just hang on to it until we do have the hilts. Right here, we have a human bandit. And this is that quest we're going to start. He's going to tell us that he is in great pain, and he begs of us to stop him from to end the pain. We can either just say, yeah, no, I'm going to be going now, or we can ask, what happened to you? So let's find out his tragic backstory. I was cursed by an evil priest. My name was Charles Brega. My friend and I asked only for something to eat, some sustenance. We were poor, wandering, and he cursed us. My friend, cursed with madness, attacked me and killed me. The pain I am cursed to be held to this realm, unable to be released. Please, I need your help. So he essentially just wants the sweet release of death. We want to know, what is it you would have me do? Or, I don't know, why should I? So, yeah, let's ask him. What is in it for us? He can tell us something valuable. And we're listening. First, we need to kill the priest Arbala. He lives here, and we got a map waypoint marker. Only his death will free me. Okay. And in exchange for killing him, he's going to tell us what? What valuable information will you impart for my help? I know of a treasure buried for years. Well, if you know of this treasure, why were you poor? Seems like a reasonable question to ask. We had an oath of poverty. We were monks. I see, so there's more details being added to this story. I see. Well, I am going to go avenge you, or I'm not certain I believe you, but I'll do this, or I don't believe you and not interested. Being the good guys that we are going to go avenge his death. Then we're also going to save one more time, then head out. This game does have a day and night cycle. So we have the sun setting right now. It says the current time is about 6:20 p.m. on January 1st, 1885. So I think the sun's setting a little late for January. We'll go with it. It is a fantasy world and all. So if we pass this thing, this mark right here, the shrine before you is crude, made of rough stone and wood. Carved into one of the stones is this: and a spirit shall be reborn on wings of fire in the hills shrouded in fog. With a chapter and verse of their whole. I don't want to cross over to that and trigger the next dialogue, mostly just because. Although we can do the fight right now with no issues whatsoever. There's a couple of treasure chests down here and other tech items I want to pick up. Don't really care much about killing these guys right now, honestly, with the RXP. I do care a lot, though, about the tech items, like this plant. So right here is actually an example of what happens when something goes unconscious. The staff hit from Virgil took all of the stamina from this wolf, so it's now just on the ground and helpless. One of the nice support aspects of going firearms, like I'm doing on my guy, is you do a lot of stamina damage on your attacks without needing any of your own. So the grenades and stuff, we're going to be saving those for some bosses that come up later on. Sometimes the tooltips get stuck, like you saw the dynamite was stuck on there for a moment. Come on, Virgil, hit him. The tactical combat in this game in turn-based is not nearly as in-depth as something more modern, because you can see, like, I'm running around and there's not, like, attacks of opportunity or anything. I think I'm gonna have to let this guy hit me, unfortunately. There we go. He's still gonna follow me. It's fine. I guess I can tank one of these. We have so many healing items. It's kind of unexpected. I could shoot him, but with such a low firearms skill, I'm pretty likely to get a critical failure and shoot myself. So I'm trying to avoid doing that, instead just hoping Virgil can do things. These guys can also actually drop a melee weapon. It's not a very good melee weapon, but it's better than the railroad spike. And it's actually we do need 1 or 2 copies of the item, actually, throughout the game. And Virgil's wasting stamina healing me. It's, you know, not what we want. So there, I healed. And I do want to, like, also kind of double check these corpses. We can't tell which ones we have and haven't looted at a glance. There's a couple others around here that are scattered, I think. I thought there were a couple other heal items as well up top here that I could have looted. Maybe I already did. Like, I thought these were leaves that we could loot as a heal item. I guess not. Maybe these were the items I was thinking of. So I couldn't grab that because I didn't have space. We're gonna have to rearrange these a little bit. And we're also gonna have to pass a few more inventory items over to Virgil. He doesn't have a bow, so we can give him... I'm also going to give him these basic crafting items, because he can't use them. I can give him this heal lesser wounds, but and he can use that because he has the aptitude. I don't really want... Well, it's a pretty minor amount of money. Yeah, I guess I don't care if he has these. I shot him once. I don't want to use my bullets, though, so we're not going to shoot him more. We do have the level up points to use. I actually also need to check here that Virgil didn't auto spend his point. The thing I was using here for the manual leveling scheme should let me assign all of his points myself, and then the followers will only use their leveling schemes up to the level they are when we get them. Which I think they're always fixed to, and so like if we get a lot of XP, they won't level up further. But I don't entirely remember. So yeah, first thing I want to do here, let's check his character sheet. Cool, so he has 1 point. That's what we want, because now we're going to be able to kind of specialize roles for characters. And the reason I want to do that is I want to kind of spread out these technological disciplines between a lot of characters, so that things, some of these things later on, like this elephant gun and stuff, we can craft. And the reason for that is the way crafting works in this game. So I can bring up the menu for this. schematics. When you craft something, there's two types of schematics. There are these scroll ones, which are schematics found in the world. And these, basically your main character is the only one who can learn these. And you need like a certain level of know-how in the tech discipline to use it, but there's some ways around that we can use as well. However, these little diploma ones, you can only make those items by putting points into skills. But since you have followers that can also put points into these things right here, what you're really looking for is just having access to all of these things that are like late game construction, like this mechanized arachnid or this revitalizer or elite plate mail. If we can craft those on one character, then our main character will be able to do the crafting for the rest of it. So you can get kind of like a multidisciplinary approach. But I also don't completely remember which disciplines every character gets. This guy is the strongest guy on this map, level 12. Virgil hit him. Beyond the other boss that will, well, semi-boss thing, which we can deal with. Level won't really matter too much in this game. It's fairly easy to do these. I'm also going to try something real quick here. There are 3 combat modes. There's real-time, turn-based, and fast turn-based. The spacebar alternates between real-time and turn-based. Turn-based in this game is... I kind of like it a lot more. Real-time, everything is just a chaotic blender. But it's also a lot quicker, so let's see what happens. Means fewer inputs too right now. Yeah, this guy's running, which is good. One more hit and he runs out of stamina, and then he will die. Or, yeah, now he's down. Now he can die easily. Alright, so now that this guy's dead, what's he have? Yeah, we got a kite sword. This is the dagger I was talking about. We are going to need one for sure, and I'm kind of blanking on it, but I think we need 2 of them throughout the game for a big quest. I'm just going to leave combat on real time for a little bit as well. Virgil's more than capable of handling all of this without armor. It's a little easier to do. Need to be careful to not step in this fire, because that will actually damage our armor. This combat is still pretty slow paced in real time, but I mean it gets very chaotic very quickly later on. In fact, even just targeting things can be pretty difficult. Oh. I can leave it on real time for now, but I definitely prefer the turn-based combat later on. And it looks like that clears out everything in here. So we are now going to go for this guy who pops up.
The altar should clear things up for us a bit. It says, and the spirit of Nazarene shall be reborn on wings of fire in hills shrouded in fog, and fight the last battle with the evil one.
Okay, and the evil one, who is that?
I'm sorry, but I don't know. I guess we better find out, considering you're supposed to fight him.
Alright, well, what do I tell Virgil here? He's getting a little cheeky. I'm glad you find this amusing, because I don't at all. That's probably a good idea, Virgil. Let's go. Or whatever. This gets more ridiculous as we go along. I'm just gonna say I'm glad you find it amusing.
I'm sorry. I know this is all a bit much, considering what you've just been through. Let's just get to Shrouded Hills.
Yeah, that's right, Virgil. Apologize. Alright, hold there. What are you doing up here? Our options. Good God, man, I just survived a blazing inferno. Who are you to ask? What are you doing here? Or, I just saw the accident and ran up here as fast as I could. So we can either tell him the truth, or we can lie, essentially. This isn't Lies of P, so, you know, lying is a totally valid option. Like we have options here of 2 lies and a truth. I don't really want to tell him our background, mostly because I know what it leads to later in the game, and for a quality of life thing, I'm just going to tell him.
I mean no disrespect,
No idea.
sir, but I don't trust this bastard one bit. Bloody convenient he just happened to show up here just now, don't you think? Oh, excuse my language, sir.
Wow, Virgil doesn't trust him at all. It's nice. What do you recommend, Virgil?
I've dealt with buggers, individuals like this before. Perhaps you'll let me talk with him for a few minutes.
Oh, geez. You've dealt with buggers, huh, Virgil? That's, some pretty severe language there. I'm glad he caught himself and corrected it to individuals. Yeah, I mean, that's almost like saying, gosh darn it, or I don't know, gosh darn it, golly gee, something. Well, of course, Virgil, feel free to do what you think is best, or listen, Virgil, I do the talking, I'll hear no more of it. So, minor spoiler here, if we let Virgil do the talking, we avoid the fight. And while I don't want to be too mean to Virgil, since I did just kind of use him as a human shield, I also really want the XP for fighting this guy. I also kind of want his robes.
Fine. I'm sure you know what's best to do. But be careful with him. I don't like the look in it.
I don't think that pissed Virgil off too much. He was at 63. He should still be 63. Now, why am I here? I saw there was a disturbance. So I wasn't on the blimp, huh? What was I doing up here in the first place? Well, I've been camping, I saw the crash from afar and came to investigate. Or are you doubting my word, sir? I wouldn't recommend it. Or aren't you full of questions? Why do you want to know? Or I believe I've talked about this enough. Good day to you, sir. We're just gonna... I'm gonna tell him we were camping. There's that campfire out there from the guys we murdered. Eyes me suspiciously. That probably means you gave me the wrong answer. Not that we have much persuasion right now anyways. Quite a ways out in the wilderness, don't you think? Strange place to be camping. Are you hunting or something else? Yes, hunting. What are you doing here, stranger? Or I've had enough of your questions. I mean, he's clearly leading us to saying hunting, but I'm going to ask him what he's doing. Well, he was just there because he saw the crash and wanted to search for survivors. And, well, you know what? We were there to see the exact same thing. Uh-oh, he wants to make sure that there were no survivors, so we get to die. Come on, Virgil. Uh-oh. We might need to be going into turn-based here. It looks to me like Virgil's weapon broke. That was unexpected. And Virgil's also almost out of stamina, I think because his weapon broke. Oh, I can't get into his inventory here. Okay, well. This is a less than ideal situation. We have almost no chance to hit. We're also losing a lot of stamina by running. So, although I wasn't planning to use one of these just yet. Okay, well, that went nowhere near where we wanted it to go. Okay, so it looks like we are actually using some stamina here as well. Well, I'm not gonna lie, we're actually in a pretty bad spot right now. So we don't have any stamina. Put this in, but it won't really... So, let's see, 1 to 5... 2 to 6. Swap that in. Yeah, we're losing stamina as we get hit. Virgil losing his staff is really bad here. And we're unconscious for the moment. I don't think Virgil has any stamina restores either. Oh, okay, so the elf was knocked down. That's what we needed because... Yeah, that was a very close fight.
This man was a hired killer. Yes, let's go to Shrouded Hills.
I really wasn't expecting it to be nearly that close, given how easily we killed everything else. Yeah, let's figure out what happened to Virgil here. He doesn't have a broken staff in inventory, it looks like. So maybe he dropped his weapon. That's something that can happen as characters get disarmed. Because normally if something's broken, it outlines in red. And there's unfortunately no, like, button that highlights loot in this game. It's actually kind of a problem if you give your followers really good weapons. Because, yeah, he lost his weapon. I'm just gonna kind of have to scan over this and see if it shows up.
It is done. It is done. It is done.
He also might be able to automatically pick up
It is done.
his weapon up if he gets near it. He might have just done. Yeah, I think he just got disarmed. Or maybe on like a critical failure. Nice thing though is with this mod, we will be able to avoid that. What I probably should have done was given Virgil one of those railroad spikes as a backup weapon. Because, yeah, I don't see that staff anywhere. It's a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. We're just going to give Virgil a railroad spike as a weapon. Don't really care too much if these things get destroyed. And they're pretty durable as well. And then we're going to go on a second one as a backup. So you can see here the icon changed for the world. That means we can now fast travel. We have Arbala's house here, which was that quest site. I'm trying to remember how to use this game's map because using this thing for fast travel is pretty integral to everything. It looks like it's just okay. So we can go to Arbala's house here, or we can go to Shrouded Hills first. And I'm actually going to be going to Shrouded Hills first because I want to pick up that second follower and maybe find another weapon or two we can salvage. Just kind of in case. Little innkeeper here talking to us. We're not going to say much to him yet. We're also not going to say much to bartender or this guy quite yet, but a little half ogre here we are absolutely talking to. Sadly, he's not one of the voice acted followers, but whatever. Burr, hello there. Hello, good ogre. Might I ask who you are, where I'll be going? Yes, good ogre. Who are you? Me? The ogre sets his ale cup down, puffing out his chest. Pathetic. I am Sog Mudmead. Mead Mug. Sog Mead Mug. Gotta get it right. You know, half ogres are gonna take their names very seriously. You get that wrong, and yeah, your friendship with one's just over. Alright. So, Mead Mug, I'm sorry, is that your family name? Nice to meet you, Sog. Can I ask you a few questions? Let's ask about his family name. Lineage and stuff is something that I'm sure he cares a lot about. Of course, don't you know anything about ogre names, stranger? Ogre names tell about the person or the family who's got them. Sog looks away, seeming a little confused. Come to think of it, Maybe that ain't my real name, but it's what people call me around here. Oh, sounds like he has another name he's not telling us. That's okay. He can have his secrets. Let's ask a few more questions. Sure, what do we want to know? What is he doing out here in Shrouded Hills, or what can he tell me about this place? Oh, what can you tell me? Let's make some small talk, right? Shrouded Hills? Is this showing up? This is an okay size on the window. Hopefully people can read it. Shrouded Hills, not a bad place, a little boring. He wavers slightly, looks about ready to fall asleep. Can't go nowhere right now, though. There are some bloody thieves at the bridge who won't let anyone out of town. Charging a bloody toll, and I ain't got money. I wonder how he is able to afford alcohol if he doesn't have money. Maybe he has a problem. Perhaps you should join me. I'm looking to get out of town. Sure, sounds like a great idea. Two heads are better than one, even if one of them is as drunk as mine. Aha. Oh, just one hop. Let's get out of here. Good, let's be off. And with that, we now have a nearly naked ogre. It's another party member. I think the nearly naked part is a big part of his value. You get something giant like this running at you, it's a reason to be scared. We're going to give him another railroad spike and a second railroad spike for a backup weapon. He's also big and strong, so he can carry loot for us. He's the only extra follower we can get out here. We are going to talk to this gnome shopkeeper. I'm looking for training as an apprentice. What sort of wares do you carry here, or shall we barter, good sir? We can barter. You gotta see here, though, everything is pretty expensive. I don't think there's much we can do. Could get this other staff, restore Virgil's weapon. It's 10 coins. The sword is 166. Nothing here I really want to buy, though. 6 coins per bullet is kind of a lot. We've got 8 bullets, so we're just going to continue with what we have. But remember, we do have level up points. In fact, now that we hit level 4, I have a lot of points to spend, because I didn't put much in initially. I forget where Haggle. Oh, okay, there's Haggle. I can't remember if it was mixed with Persuasion. Needs 6 points of willpower for the first level. The Art of the Deal, used to buy goods at less than full price. Skill is dependent upon your willpower. Money's pretty easy to get in the game, but also it's just convenient for to get better loot. So we could do that. We could also go for pickpocket, which is pretty solid. And then we also have... Oh no, we don't have enough decks to do another level of pickpockets. We are going to talk to this guy real quick and ask who you are. Greetings, I am Lloyd Gerlos, the local blacksmith. How might I help you today? Sure. What services does he give us? Apprentice training. Trading. Tells us rumors. An apprentice, he does repair, pick locks, and disarm traps. 99 points for pick locks. We do want that, but it's a little expensive right now. So now what we have, what's Lloyd got? Fine Hilton Guard. 3 coins. We're gonna want this. Like I was saying, we can make that pure ore. Fine steel dagger is actually pretty nice too for the price. I don't really know what I want to do just yet. Well, we do want to go do Arbalist stuff. I wouldn't mind getting this sword, however. I have to spend 2 points on it, but then we'll have 1 sword for him right now, and we'll get another one in a little bit. We're also going to level up the Arbalist stuff, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to take Haggle, and then we need 9 willpower for the next level of Haggle. And the willpower is fine, because that's also the stat that's used for technological disciplines. Actually, wait, no. Int is technology. So what else uses Haggle? I don't remember. Willpower. We are getting some hit points and stamina out of it, though. Yeah, so we're gonna do this, and then... So, I guess if we put the points into smithing, we would be able to make the item. There's also one of our followers, though, who has smithing, so we don't really have to if we really want to min-max our points. We can let that guy do them. Maybe that's what I should do. And if I wanted to do that, really what I'd be looking for right now is just to be able to get out of town as quickly as possible. Let's get us hacked. 104 coins. That apprentice haggle is nice. I think that apprentice doesn't give an additional bonus, it just tells us what the discount is. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read this one. So what ended up happening, he said business is a little slow. Business, I suppose it's never outstanding here in Shrouded Hills. We're a small town and a simple folk. But to be honest, I've had trouble getting my hands on any good ore for smithing. It's hard to bring up anything out of the old Bessie tomb. It's the old Bessie tomb. An old silver mine just north and a little west of town. There hasn't been silver down there for a long time, but they'll still bring up some iron ore every once in a while. Worthless, though, as long as Bessie is wandering her mind. So, who is Bessie Tomb? Well, I'd tell you who she was, but I'm no good at spinning yarns. If you really want to know about old Bessie, you should talk to her son personally. He lives up there on the mountain. Let's see. So, what type of ore do you need? Well, I'm in dire need of some pure ore. I'll not make a blade without it. If you could find some, I might be obliged to make you a dagger out of whatever was left. Sounds like a good trade. I'll do it. A few more questions. I must be off. We are going to do a little bit of trash digging. Get ourselves some boots, get ourselves some gun parts. We're just going to convert that into money. And into Molotov cocktails for the purpose. Put this right there for a moment, just so I can grab these shoes. Oh, I guess halflings can wear shoes. I didn't think I could. Alright, well, inventory. First thing we want to do, Virgil has a really strong armor, so we want full mead mug here to get some boots. Preferably strong boots. He can apparently wear ladies' boots. I think his feet would be too big. We're going to give him these worn boots, though. They're the strongest pair we have. And then Virgil, pretty similar. These things are exactly the same. since I don't have the carrying capacity issue, I'm going to give Virgil the worn shoes. And then I'll equip the other ones myself. I don't want to talk to this guy. There is one small issue with this game. I think I had mentioned it about things running into infinite loops sometimes because of this mod. Basically, the AI sometimes gets into loops and doesn't know what it's doing. When that happens, a little clock will spin in the top right corner. But you can actually fix it by just toggling in and out of real-time combat mode. So sometimes when going through towns, it might slow down a little bit. I have to do that. I'm gonna talk to this NPC here, get a quest. Mostly I'm just trying to see if there are schematics for sale though. Let's see. I am new to this land, but suspect my travels will take me. She has no idea where this amulet that she wants is. Sorry, I clicked through it. And she has no idea if I'll ever find it, but if I do, I can bring it to her and she'll give me a great reward. Sounds good. Apprentice training is heal. Yes, she can't do anything. Well then, let's barter. Fuel and fortifier. These are both nice schematics. But we can't really do much with it right now. So I think that what we're gonna do is try and find some money. Oh, actually, I guess we can sell some things. Let's see. Or can we sell things? I do have 1 point still available. To do apprentice firearms, we would need to get 1 point in. And the expert trainer is in this town as well, who is a plus 3. So it's kind of hard to decide what I want to do there. I want the pickpocket. I want the firearms. And I really want those schematics. Now, I guess, okay, so I know what we can do. We're gonna go sell this camera for some money. So we're gonna go through this guy's dialogue first. Let's see, and you are good, sir. I am Ristez, importer of fine goods and rarities from all over the world. Nowhere will you find a more incredible assortment of fantastical oddities from the four corners of Arcanum and beyond. You are looking for something specific, yes? He's in, full used car salesman. Now, we're gonna humor him. Fascinating. You answer some questions. What can Ristez do for you? Well, what could you tell me about this ring? Interesting. A finely made piece of jewelry. What exactly do you want? Oh? What is it made of? I'm not quite sure. Ristez would say that it is made out of silver, fine grade as well. Note the way that it shines. Ristez would also say that it was made nowhere near Shrouded Hills. Nothing of such quality could have come from this place. Okay, well, where would it be mined? He has no idea, but definitely not the Bessie Toon mine here in Shrouded Hills. Bessie Toon, the very idea of... And yeah, he's getting really worked up over this. Easy. Yeah, calm down, dude. Just tell me about the initials. BB, no one that I know. Plus, it's impossible that someone in Shrouded Hills would own such a high-quality piece of jewelry. More likely, they'd melt it down and use it for nails. Oh, the thought. Aristez has languished here, my friend. Huh? Would anyone else know? Wait a minute. Perhaps Aristez has some questions for you. Where does someone like yourself come across a piece such as this? Well, I'm just gonna tell him exactly what happened. It was a blimp crash. Blimp crash? What blimp crash? There's no one the decency to tell Aristez when tragedy strikes. Are you alright? Were there any other survivors? No, I was the only one. I see. Aristez is always one to help those in need. Take this small donation. Aristez is the businessman, but he has a heart. Tell me, were there any objects there that seemed unclaimed? He had the exact same idea that I did. Oh, perhaps. Let's talk about it in a little bit. Or, I think most of what is there will need to be sent to relatives. Yeah, right, we're gonna steal everything. So, perhaps. Now, what else can he help us with? I need to ask about the imprint. Well, that imprint is a very important piece of the puzzle, right? Aristez has been very free with information. What do I have to offer him? Well, he's been nothing but helpful and very knowledgeable. Yeah, he has been. He also kind of saw through us. He sees through our poorly veiled attempt with flattery. I am not new to the wiles of fast-talking man. Let's cut to the chase. He has information I need. He wants something in return. Well, what does he want? What is he looking for exactly? Two things. If we're able to locate a camera, or something of Bessie Toon's, Aristez might tell you about Skylar and Sons and where you might find them. Well, I don't really want to... I don't really want to give him the camera because I believe we can sell it instead. So instead, we're going to say, yep, sounds fair. Actually, who is Bessie Toon? Or should I look for things? What about the camera? He's got no idea. Alright, well, I will return when I found one or both. We already have the camera. Let's trade. He got some XP, and he gave us their address. I thought we could sell the camera, but maybe not. Business matters. We want to trade. Alright, well, I guess we can sell the amulet. Don't really want to. It's only worth 3 coins. There's not really anything here we want to sell. It's kind of the problem. You know, we could get a little bit of armor to sell here in just a moment.
Joaquim's room is at the end of the hall on the left.
End of the hall on the left. Alright, let's go in here first. We're also gonna use this room as a little bit of a base of operations to start.
What's happened here? men,
because this chest
I've
isn't
never
going
seen
to
them
empty
before.
out, so we can put all of our loot in it. I thought these guys had like robes or clothes or something to steal. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. Joaquin's note to Virgil. Let's read it. Virgil, I assume you are not alone. As you can see, there are people in Shrouded Hills looking for me. Luckily for me, these fellows were easily dispatched. Do not speak with anyone about the Zeppelin. Late. Or your new companion's
Sorry to
involvement.
interrupt, but it seems Joaquin has discovered something. These individuals seem to be part of some larger plot. A plot against you.
Wow. That interruption was very rude. We only got halfway through the note. It looks that way. Tell me, Virgil, who exactly is this Joaquin?
He is, well, someone who helped me out when I needed it. I met him in a small village at a Panari temple. I was, a bit down on my luck. He showed me that you don't always have to take what life gives you, but there's always a better path, and that it's always your choice to travel it.
What do you mean, down on your luck? What happened?
I'd rather not talk about it anymore, but Joaquin is a great man, well-versed in the ways of the Panari, and also in the ways of the world. If he thinks we're in trouble, then we are. Let's get out of here and get to Tarrant.
Alright, Virgil, perhaps we'll talk more of this later. I wish the guy was a little more forthcoming. The whole mysterious thing doesn't look well. Like, he has information. Why not tell it to us? I decided what I'm going to use this last point on, actually. Actually, no, 'cause I think the dwarf does mechanical. Like, we could take mechanical here, we could take, like, these things and make, like, the first tier items for some money. But then, with, like, the technologist later on, that might not be a good idea. I'm going to AFK for just a moment, though, and make myself some more coffee. So, I'll be back in about under 5 minutes. Sorry for how jank this is to put up an AFK cover and all that stuff. Yeah, be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got myself coffee. I got myself some nice instant ramen because breakfast of champions, or I guess dinner of champions at this point in the day. And I got myself some iced tea, so I have actually decaf iced tea, so I can balance out the coffee. As I usually like to do. So I essentially have 3 different forms of flavored water. I hope that'll last me for a little bit. My input bugged here for a second. Sorry, it happens with this mod sometimes, it seems. Never remember. Okay, got it fixed. It's a little bit, wonky sometimes with what happens. We're able to steal a little bit of money, which is nice. What we really want to do, though, is we're going to want to rob the bank. That'll get us a lot of money and our fate points. But, before that, we're going to do our ballless thing. I think when we do that and come back, these trash cans should reset, so we can get some more free loot out of them. However, this town's kind of large. I don't remember what the quickest way to the world map is. Maybe I can do it from town directly. No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, so we have to actually leave town. One disadvantage to technology characters is you have to run, and with this build specifically, even though the game has like trains and stuff, we're actually going to lose access to them with one of the characters that we add in. Which kind of sucks. He's a very good character. One of the few that I'm even... we don't have mug meat here on his no scheme leveling. We need to set that up. He's also taking a lot of damage. Wow. He's not being a very good damage sponge, you see. Yeah, why is Virgil not attacking? Virgil, you attack too. Well, this is giving us some inventory space at least. I don't really want to attack until I can do more with bullets. Jeez, that did not go well. Maybe Virgil's just not going to do much with that railroad spike. Give him one of those. And yeah. Mead Mug is just not doing much. I don't think he can wear regular size armor either. Let's double check, because those robes would be better than his rags if he can. Yeah, he can't. He's got 12 armor to Virgil's 22. I don't get why he... Virgil didn't attack. Alright, well... Also have to be a little more careful of that happening. Maybe because little Sog there was taking a little too much damage. We're just going to tell Virgil only to attack.
I've been seriously hurt, sir. Please help me.
Virgil's dead. We're going to reload that because that did not go well at all. That wolf was very, very deadly. I'm gonna tell him to attack, and I'm just gonna back up. Come on, Virgil. Okay, well, they're both attacking this time, so that's good. I do have to use more healing items, but that's fine. We're currently the weakest of the weak. Oh, we just leveled there, so we're now a little less weak. So let's spend our character points here. We have 2. I can't go up to 3 in willpower out of 5 because we need willpower at 12. 9 is the break point right now. So what we're gonna do with these, we can either take the 2 points in firearms, or we go for our pickpocket. And which one we take, I don't really know yet. Dodge is also really solid. But we don't have much dex, and dodge isn't that great at just apprentice level. Could also try throwing for the explosives, so they're more accurate. But I don't really want to do much with throwing. I think we might just use the grenades and stuff we make for money, honestly. Persuasion, heal. Yeah, I can't take haggle. Picklock is dexterity, so I can't go past what I'm at right now. So I think I'm actually just going to take the firearms skill. It's either that or some technology. And I kind of need to think about which characters give which technologies. I did make healing salves already. I think it's therapeutics and herbology for one of the followers that I want, and smithy mechanical for another one. Which would mean chemistry, electric, explosives, and gunsmithy are the ones I'm more open on, because I'm only going to take the 2 technology characters out of the 4 available. I can also level someone like Virgil into one of them here as well. Like I can make Virgil learn electric and chemistry or something, which tend to go well together. So if I did that, I'd probably like make my own explosives plus gunsmithy. That might work okay. I guess if I do that, I could learn Molotovs right now. I can sell those for a bit of money. I can also actually just use them if I need to. Although surprisingly, I'm not actually going to want to commit any of these guns for a while, because I'm going to steal one, and then I might give one of my. Well, actually, I will be giving one of my other followers, or a couple of them, some guns eventually. We have some rags. Fuel we can either make or buy later as well. World map is... Why does it say world map isn't available even though the button's there? Oh, whoops, I don't want to be in prowling mode. That's weird. Thing like bugs out with prowling there. Okay, I think we're out of town now. Oh, no, we're actually back in town. As long as we're in town. Let's steal out some stuff out of these. Ooh, there's a pig. I forgot about those. I thought there was some fertilizer or something out here we could salvage. Here's the mine, but we're not going to go in there yet. Yeah, I definitely should have left town in the other direction. I remember it is a much shorter run. There's one kind of like downside of this town is getting in and out of it is a run. Unlike most towns, it's very long. Oh. So let's focus on this one. Virgil did another critical fail. Let's make sure he didn't actually lose his weapon, though. Ooh, bunny. Now we can actually get out of here. So we're gonna go to our boss's house. So what do we see here? Couple of graves. Safe, beloved son, Jamalia, beloved wife, and well, he's got himself a small graveyard in his home and some bloodstains. Let's talk to him, see what happened. Yes, what do you want, son? I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Who are you? Wise and old priest seems to be in some pain. I am Arbala, and you are... I'm Braille. Okay, well, Braille, what brings you to my humble farm? I've been sent here by Brago's spirit, or I'm simply traveling about. What happened to you? I don't think this that I've been sent by the spirit initiates combat, so I'm gonna pick it. He smiles. Oh, he's dead already. How sad. Has he sent you to finish what he did not? Already? Finish what he started? What are you speaking of? I'm surprised his path ended so soon after he shattered mine. After I had offered them food and drink, he and his friend Farkas, I believe his name was, ransacked my house for whatever they could find. When they finally found my one object of any value, a sacred holy artifact, they killed my family and left me for dead as well. So I cursed them? Or so you cursed them? He winces in pain once again. I retired from the priesthood some years ago, but it was all I could think to do in my pain and grief. Their souls will never leave this plane of existence. How sad. And the curse of madness that caused Farkas to kill Brago? What of that? No, I believe that was the curse of greed. If I had to guess, Farkas decided he didn't want to share the ill-gotten gains with anyone. They were despicable people. I'm sorry for your loss, or it was a great story, but I need to kill you now, or I will be departing. Well, I'm just gonna say, I am sorry for your loss. Thank you for your kind words, but there is something else. I need to recover the sacred artifact they stole. It is very important to me. I need it to pray to my gods effectively. Did Brago say anything, give any clue as to where it might be? I'm sorry, but no, he did not. He hobbles a bit closer. I know it's none of your affair, but could you assist me in trying to locate what is rightfully mine? Well, here's our options. It's the least I could do. Any idea where I should start? That depends on what it would be worth to you. You are right, it is none of my affair, good day, or I'm sorry for your loss, but I have better things to do. Well, you know, we're gonna feel sorry for this guy and say it's the least we could do. And I mean, it's really not the least when you consider it. Like, the least would be just saying it's not, like, it doesn't matter, bye. But no, we're gonna say, you know, it's the least we could do. Excellent. Perhaps our friend, the late Mr. Brago, would have some information he could impart to you regarding the location of my sacred possession. He smiles at you warmly. I appreciate your kindness, though I regret I have nothing to give you for your help. We'll return when we've gotten your property. I don't think he has anything. You can use pickpocket to look at people's inventory for free. You just can't try and steal anything without consequences. So, now that we know that he has nothing, we're just going to go back up to the crash site and talk to that evil spirit. eating on stream doesn't bother anyone, but I do want my ramen before it gets too cold. Spirit appears to be in great pain. Please, I beg of you, the pain. I had a conversation with Arbala. You are a liar, my friend. Or, I need to talk to the friend that killed you. We don't really have much in the way of persuasion, you know, social skills, but we're just gonna ask to talk to the friend. He laughs and then deals with the pain because it hurts to laugh. So you spoke with Arbala instead of killing him. Bravo, my friend, I applaud you. Tell me where Farkas is. Why should I tell you that? I will still be here for eternity. Well, don't you want revenge on your killer? Or we can lie and say, I convinced Arbala to release you if you help me. This is clearly what we want to say to him is convinced to release. You would, wouldn't you? If there is one thing about you noble types, is that you'll do the right thing even if it kills you. Very well. Anything to be released from this pain. Points to a location on your map. Farkas is here. So, thank you for the information. Or thanks, by the way, I lied. And you still get to rot here forever. We're just gonna thank him for the information. We did lie, and I mean, we could tell him and it would actually will fail a quest or two, but it doesn't actually impact our current quest. You can see here in the quest that we have this accepted one right here will actually fail if we tell him we lied. But we can't actually complete it either. So we can come back here at a later date in order to tell him again that we lied and he's just screwed. Or what we can do is we can just leave him there with false hope for the remainder of eternity. So we got the clock spinning there. There shouldn't be any more NPCs in the area. Walk right up here and then go over to Farkas' shack. And there's Farkas. Let's save and talk to him. Speak up, halfling. Do not mutter. Yeah, I should eat a little bit more neatly on stream. I must not have heard you correctly. I must have, I didn't know. That is, I mistook you for someone else. I am afraid. Please forgive me. So, our options. I have come to warn you of a curse that has been placed on you. I have come to retrieve what you have stolen from Arbala. So, it sounds like our options are we can either kill him and get the artifact that we want, or we can warn him and see if maybe he will turn things over, you know, turn over a new leaf. The guy does seem pretty irredeemable so far, though. So let's warn him. What are you talking about? What curse? Arbala cursed you and Brego. Your spirit is trapped here. That damn priest. That must be what I heard as I was running from the cave. Brego's ghost. Give me the artifact and Arbala will remove the curse, which is a lie. Or give me the artifact and I won't kill you. That one's also a lie, come to think of it. So, or I must depart. Also a lie. There are no true options right here. You must think I'm fairly stupid. You would never do anything to help me after what Brago did to him and his family. Well, that is nothing compared to what I am about to do to you. If that is how you feel, I will leave you be. We're gonna go into turn-based mode here. Looks like Virgil Critical hit himself again. Where am I? The pain. Please release me. You are dead. Oh, and you're cursed to be here forever. But as we can see, hey, we got ourselves a nice suit. Probably only has a few stat holes in it. And we got a sacred artifact. We're gonna go back to its house now. Oh man. I apparently cannot eat ramen neatly. I apologize. Sorry. All right. Hello, my brother. I've retrieved your artifact. Thank you. I thank you, as do the spirits of my ancestors. I must admit to having lied to you before. I do have something to give you. Something of immeasurable value. I bestow my blessing upon you. Everyone you meet will now react more favorably to you than perhaps they did in the past. So, this blessing, people are going to act more favorably, but then the criminals who met him murdered his wife and son and tried to murder him. So, what would they have done if they weren't acting more favorably? Or does this blessing just not work? There is an actual answer to that, which is that the blessing is real and works. Right here, you've been given his blessing. And what it did is it added, I think it was either beauty and charisma or just beauty. Basically some free stat points. So now we're just going to go to Shrouded Hills and continue these other quests. So we're going to do a little bit of inventory management here, as well as spend these character points. I'm not going to do anything for money. We can just kind of wait. Once we get out of this town, things will be fine. It's all just about being strong enough to actually beat this one guy. So we're just going to take Firearms. Next level needs 12, so we can do one more level to get as high Firearms as we can get for the moment. I don't think we can get any more in haggle right now. Yeah, so we have that, and then we're just gonna grab some stuff off of these guys that we want to sell. I don't think there's very much. Some awful shoes. We're gonna throw some of these things. The clothing and armor is essentially what we're going to be selling. We can... It's basically no better than the starting armor for any of these other characters that we find. So there's not really a reason to hang on to it. And these crude lockpicks we can sell as well because we have the good lockpick. I'm also going to take that. Drop these things. We need, I think, one of these amulets at the game. I also don't think that we can actually use. I'm just gonna equip them because whatever for now. And then we're gonna move a bunch of this stuff. Put these on the guy as well. That's one more Malokian amulet. Do we have 4 of those? I guess we do. Okay, well, we're just going to sell this last one. I think everything else here is either books we want to hang on to for the moment, as our quest items. So, only a couple items we have to sell, but we can sell them. Sorry, I've got like 8. 8 Google Meet messages just fired off at once, so give me 1 second to read these text messages real fast. Okay, sorry about that. I'll probably need to call the stream somewhat soon. It looks like we are at about 3 hours anyway, so we're going to do a couple more things with vendoring and then stop for the night. We'll also pick up a couple other quests. So we'll advance time here to morning, and then we'll pick up quests, do a little bit of vendoring real fast, and then call it for the night. First thing we're gonna do, is this the town? This is locked. I don't think we can pick lock, but we'll try. We want to hotkey these lockpicks because we're gonna use them a lot. Oh, we got a critical fail and jammed it. That really sucks to crit fail on the very first try. I guess we can't lockpick this very easily. We must need more skill. Only have 1 point. I guess we could get to apprentice and lockpicks. It would help a lot. You do have the money for apprentice lockpick. You can also come back and do it later if we really need it. So let's talk to this guy. Who might you be? I want to ask about your mother. Here for what? Who did you think I was? What? He visibly deflates. I thought you were here to kill me. One sec before I finish that sentence. I thought you were here to kill me. The businessman I was forced to sell the mine to is rather unscrupulous. He is very upset about the ore in the mine going sour. I need to find a way to free my mother. It's her ghost that is ruining the ore somehow. He looks at you with wanting help. Perhaps I can help? Kill you. Halflings aren't known to be feared killers, usually. Your mother's ghost, or you have my sympathies. Perhaps I can help. Oh, that would be wonderful. He claps his hands together. If you could do that, I'd be ever so grateful. It would mean a monetary reward of 500 coins as well. Sounds good. I'll look into it in return. Not that quest. We're also going to pick up a couple of other quests over here that we will be doing. One of them is a really good quest. I'm not going to talk about it yet until we do it, but I think it's one of the better done short quests in the game. Then this one is essentially a fetch quest. Yes, what do you want? Who might you be? I'm Jongle Dunn, learned wizard and alchemist. If you have a problem in shrouded hills of a magical nature, I'm the person to see. It's always a pleasure to see a fellow halfling in these parts, but I'm afraid you've caught me at a bad time, brother. Perhaps we could speak later. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you too. Can I be of assistance? Well, perhaps. I have a problem here in Shrouded Hills of a most delicate nature. Strictly confidential, if you get my meaning. Well, of course. Might I ask you a few questions about it, or probably nothing I want to involve myself in? So, strictly confidential. We're just going to get some questions. No signing an NDA or anything, clearly. Well, certainly. I'm looking for training as an apprentice. What do you want? Healer persuasion. We are not smart or good enough at either to do it. So, then you're an alchemist. What does that mean? An alchemist is an individual who studies the properties of objects and tests how they react with one another. It's not really magic, not really science, but has characteristics of both. Somewhat of a jack of all trades, master of none. Do you follow? Sure, I guess. What is the nature of your problem? Well, he leans toward you, looking around secretively. There's a conspiracy here in Shrouded Hills, a dark plan full of mystery and intrigue. Interesting. And what exactly is this conspiracy? Well, the whole town is out to get them. They've been brainwashed by that Constable Owens, and now it's only a matter of time before I'm forced to flee. Forced to leave. That's very sad. What has Constable Owens done to him? What has he done to me? The man has endangered the natural balance which allows me to put bread on my table. Do you have any idea what the presence of his bloody steam engine has done to my magical abilities? Well, no, what are you talking about? Or I see. You're speaking of the nature of magic and technology. For the sake of exposition of how magic and technology work in this game, let's ask him what he's talking about. That blasted technological gadgetry. It upsets the flows by which I perform my miracles and magic and alchemy. Magic and technology are very different. Magic works against the laws of nature, while technology is very dependent on them. So that machine makes it difficult to cast spells and do my experiments, which means business is bad. That's a shame, especially in such a big city like Shrouded Hills. And totally oblivious to my sarcasm, yes, if only there was someone to do something about it. He throws a hooded glance your way. Well, what exactly is he proposing? His voice lowers. If you could find a way to disable that infernal machine, I might be able to part with a couple of healing points. What do you say? It's a deal. Some minor terrorism in exchange for a potion or two seems like a great idea. Great, I'll look forward to hearing from you. Good day. And then there is one more quest that we're going to want to pick up here, which is from this guy, I believe. Yes, who are you? And who might you be? So we're kind of in a conversation loop here. He asks who we are, we ask who he is, and neither of us introduce ourselves. I be Jacob Bangs. I don't usually waste my words on outlanders, but you look like a man I be having need of. Well, perhaps. Speak quickly. I like a man who hears opportunity when it comes knocking. Here's the word, stranger. And make sure to keep it to yourself. Cool. So, yeah, all these secret ideas, and they just blab them out to the first person who says hi. Out with it then. He lowers his voice, leaning to you. I'll make this short. Do you fancy yourself the thieving type, stranger? Well, I'm a man of many talents, friend. Continue. He smiles, looking to and fro, smile dribbling from his chin. I thought I was right about you. Listen, I'm no thief, but I've got some information to help us both get rich. I'm listening. There's a bank here in town, and just yesterday the payroll for the Bessie Toon mine was deposited there for safekeeping. There's at least 500 gold pieces in that safe as we speak, and he reaches into his pocket, producing a slip of paper. This right here is the combination to the bank's safe. Do I make myself clear, stranger? Crystal, my good man. What's the catch? Here's what's gonna happen. We split the tape right down the middle, and word has it the Bowen gang is gonna rob the bank any day now. So you better do it as soon as possible. Find out you're trying to skip town, I'll get the old doctor after. Oh, who's the doctor? Doctor? Old Doc Roberts is the only real law this town has. God knows Constable Owens, lily-livered hide, ain't going to do nothing about nothing. If a man needs something done in this town, lawway, they go to Doc Roberts, and if he feels like it, then it gets done. I'm sure he's got money in that bank, so he'd be real interested if someone was going to steal it. So, basically they have a useless town mayor, and their doctor has a gun who basically rules the town for self-interest. I'm starting to see why this place has so many issues. The Bowen gang. The Bowens. Oh, they're just a bunch of hellraisers that ride through here every once in a while, when they think that old Doc Roberts ain't looking. I guess they must have run out of drinking money and they're coming to make a withdrawal. I see. Well, I think we have a deal here, Jacob. Alright, I'll give you the combination to the safe, you break into the bank and steal that payroll. Then you meet me here before noon on the following day, and you give me my 250 gold. If I don't see your face, then I go straight to Roberts and tell him who stole his money. Deal. Good, good. He hands you the slip of paper. I'll be here waiting until noon after the day you do the job. Don't double-cross me, stranger. Until later, Jacob. Alright,